So I wanted to make a quick video about the Starlink that I had originally purchased and received, the original dish, which is the one here on the right, and I've got a replacement here that's on the left. This one on the right is going to go back to Starlink. So basically, what happened is this dish started having a problem where you would plug it in and then you have to wait a very long time for it to boot up because I don't leave it out because it's not my primary internet connection. I just use this for mobile use, and and so every time that I'm done with it, I'll put it away. So what the issue became was every time that I tried to plug it in and start it up, it would just take longer and longer and longer, and at sometimes it would take anywhere between 15 to 45 minutes before the dish would come out of its parked state. Right now you can see this one's in its parked state, and this one is actually pointed where it needs to be. So I wanted to go over a couple different things and how you can tell if this is becoming an issue for you. Basically what you would do is you would go into, and I can't show you because I'm using my phone to record this, but anyway, you go into your Starlink app, and then you would go into the settings, and then you would go all the way down to advanced, and then it would show up as the router and the dish itself, and it would give you a count timer or an uptime timer that would tell you how long that the unit has been awake. And basically the problem that I was running into is that if you would look at both of the timers, the router would always come up almost immediately as soon as you plugged it in, and then the dish would sit there and it just wouldn't show up. It would just be blank. It would just say dish and then no numbers underneath of it, and then you'd have to power cycle it and power cycle it and power cycle it, and then it would finally come on, or you'd have to let it sit for a super long time. Originally, I thought that it was a cabling issue, or I thought it might have been the little adapter that, because I purchased the Ethernet adapter, and it seemed like when you didn't have the Ethernet adapter that it would come up just fine. But today I've got both of them plugged in. You can see over there in the corner. Both of them are plugged in, and this one's working. So basically, the easiest way to tell if it's not going to work is if you look at the time, the uptime. If both the dish and the router do not come on within, I'd say about a minute of each other, and if both of the count or both of the uptimers don't show up within 2 minutes, you already know that you have an issue. You know that something's wrong. With multiple testing. I've always noticed that both the dish and the router should show up and show an uptime of 2 minutes. They'll say 2 minutes on them, but it might be closer to 3 in reality, because it doesn't power on as soon as you immediately plug it in. So let's say if the dish doesn't show up within the up timer of the router counting to 2 minutes, if it doesn't show up within 2 minutes, the dish doesn't show up within 2 minutes, you know that you have a problem. And that might sound kind of confusing unless you have it right in front of you, but trust me, basically your dish should show up in the advanced settings within 3 minutes of you plugging it in to power. It might not move, but it should show up that it's actually connected. Or in the home screen of your app, it should show up that it's either booting or searching or doing something like that. Now, because this one is really misbehaving today, and I'm just going to put it in its box to send it back, I really wanted to show you what it would do, but essentially I was very surprised that when I had first got this dish here, when it would orient itself, it had you could really hear the motor inside working to move the dish when it would rotate it and point it. And I just thought that that's, the motors that they chose for it, and they were just loud and noisy, just, you could really hear it. But now that I've got this one, I hear the thing, and it's just like, just way different, much more in line with what you would expect for what you pay. I mean, granted, this is very inexpensive in the world of satellite technology, but you get the idea that as sleek as everything is and as Apple-y as it is with its design, everything's just nice, neat, and it just works. You would expect it to be also fairly quiet too. Well, this one right here wasn't. It was just very this one I'll have to show it to you. But anyway, yeah. So if you're running into this issue where you're going long periods of time without your dish coming online, it should point itself, it should orient itself straight up within at least 5 and no more than 10 minutes after plugging it in. I'm going to make another video of what this one sounds like, the new one sounds like with the positioning. I'll make that in a separate video because I need my I need to get my tablet or something to do that and record it at the same time. But anyway, so this is the issue that I ran into. SpaceX was nice enough to send me the replacement. I'm going to box up the old one and send it back. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.